course we can't really talk about online debate bros.
The debate bro.
Are debate bros
forced into being a debate bro?
They hate and non-stop shit talk debate bros.
Constantly attack lefty debate bro streamers.
This is the worst example of debate broism you can ever possibly imagine.
There's like this whole new legion of like black Zoomer streamers, and for as much as they talked about how like all white people did was scream at the camera, I feel like that's all these guys do.
On December 2022, a YouTuber named Destiny made this comment about a new wave of Twitch streamers. People tried to push back against his comments.
We get diversity in the top streamers, and all their fucking and all like the efforts or whatever are all fucking combined to, oh yeah, the black dudes that just yell. Like, the fuck is that shit, man?
Other YouTubers offer their perspective.
Okay, Kai, Speed, but who else? Go, tell me who else is loud and black streamer, who else? And the only identifiers he used was black Zoomer streamers that scream.
This was his response.
Dude, I'm so bored of like the race card shit. It's just boring. And the WL community like playing the race card like all the time. Like, I get it, you're black and that's tragic, I guess, but I don't care that much. It's boring as fuck to me. Why the fuck would you assume that's the best I've got? I could be way more racist than that.
You might be asking yourself, who the hell are the debate bros? Or if you're familiar with that side of YouTube, you might be saying, oh no, not another video about the debate bros. With a small search on YouTube, you quickly find out that there are a small group of YouTubers on the left that debate, shout, and stream constantly about political ideas, sometimes even upwards of 60 hours a week. Once you realize that, and you push past all the harmful rhetoric, as many progressives like to do, you might say to yourself, well, what's the big deal? America has had a long history of political media personalities that have cultivated large viewerships, from Vidal Gore.
I would like to say that if there were a contest for Mr. Myra Breckenridge, you would unquestionably win it.
To Morton Downey Jr.
It also happens to be my personal business if I want to kill my 4-year-old kid, right?
To Sean Hannity.
Let me educate you, because obviously you're pretty ignorant.
To Chris Matthews.
What did Chamberlain do in 39? Tell me.
Chris, it's the exact same thing. All right?
What did he do? What did he do?
To Tucker Carlson.
I'm asking you a simple question, and because the science is settled, I hope you can answer it in simple terms.
Notice anything similar about them? Well, it is true this country has had a long history of people who've gained celebrity status through political commentary and debate. But what if I told you that this new group of online political commentators who have become mini celebrities in their own right are actually doing something far more sinister, perhaps something even they aren't totally aware of? Because when you look at them, the likes of a Vaush or Destiny, you'll notice that while their politics are at times profoundly misguided, and even sometimes they spew blatantly harmful things, they don't seem particularly bad people. But when you start to realize after watching one or two of their debates or streams, you don't really learn anything new, and then you start to realize that they have tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people under their control in some sort of weird algorithmic digital pit. And then you come to the startling realization that these thousands would-be activists have somehow come to think that supporting these debate bros, these internet giants of political debate, is somehow a substitute for political action. And instead of engaging in community building and organizing building, their following is caught up in this addictive need to consume more and more of their content. Because at the end of the day, that's the main objective of the debate bros. It's to make you consume as much of their content as possible. So, do you want to know how all of this works? Now you see, the first phase is about creating the spectacle, and you need a set of tools to be able to do that. You need to learn how to, for instance, use straw mans.
What if people thought within a country that the only way for them to escape colonialism was through the wholesale slaughter of the white people who lived there? Do you think that would be justified?
Add in a little misdirection and deflect accountability.
it's really disingenuous for me to continue to conversate with you if you privately still use hard R, the most contextually offensive word in modern English language, or whatever you want to call it, dude.
I enjoy talking to you and I enjoy interacting with you. If you legitimately think because of jokes that I say privately or whatever that I'm racist, I mean, that's completely on you for you to believe.
You need to throw in screaming and cursing for good measure.
You idiots! I was right, you idiots!
And don't forget to add a cup of arrogance and disrespect.
Your sociological analysis would get you laughed out of any undergraduate degree, and I can say that with the absolute confidence of a person who didn't get laughed out of my classes.
It doesn't matter what your techniques are, even whining will do.
Let me finish. Oh my God, let me finish. I can't finish. Okay, what I'm saying is that...
But above all, make sure you mix it all up with a healthy dose of quote-unquote edgy statements.
The rioting needs to fucking stop. And if that means like white redneck fucking militia dudes out there mowing down protesters that think that they can torch buildings at 10 p.m., then at this point they have my fucking blessing, because holy...
Now, notice how I didn't say you need to learn how to debate, because it's actually not about winning a debate. Because you'll come to realize that you don't really need to win a debate. Nobody's keeping track of the points being made in any classical sense. No. Your objective here is to create the spectacle of rhetorical showmanship, where you can make the audience think that you're intellectually superior than anyone who would stand in your way. Of course, there's a reason why all the debate bros look exactly the same. It's because fundamentally people are drawn to stereotypical aesthetics about intelligence. Being a loud, angry white guy, for instance, helps.
Big guy, and I'm a white guy, and I'm a loud white guy, and I'm a loud, strong, big, angry white guy.
So you need to play on what types of bodies our societies believe possess high levels of intelligence. If you have those aesthetics, you're well on your way. Now that you have your tools of rhetoricism and edgy argumentation, you're ready to build your audience. The primary people you need to target are the most vulnerable. And in that regard, you should be ready to target the trans community, who are some of the most vulnerable people in our society. And you also want to target newly rehabilitated white former right-wingers who have not fully challenged their own internalized racism, but are interested in leftist ideas and recognize the ridiculousness of right-wing populism. Those are your prime targets to help you build your army into your own mini left-wing populism. These people will be ready to do your bidding.
But I honestly feel like, I have a huge community. If I wanted to, I could bury a smaller channel.
Now, notice how I didn't say you have to build community. You see, communities are problematic. They collectively think together and often think about how to better their situation. No. What you need are people who don't question you and are willing to take orders. To protect the cult of personality is the purpose above all. They are there to protect the spectacle of your intellectual superiority.
The more of you are in the replies being like, that's not what's happening right here. Like, this is necessary, okay? Publicly shame her into changing her mind on this.
Now remember, the constitutive makeup of your audience is critical for the next phase, because you can't allow them to be a community that thinks critically and is willing to criticize you when you're being problematic or acting like a know-it-all. You can't have that, because that's the very part of your spectacle that you have to maintain, that you are smarter than everybody else, even when you're talking to an expert.
The good attorneys do this and not the bad ones.
Well, that sounds like the good attorneys are doing this because they've got a steady stream of business anyway, so they're just taking cases where...
No, it's so wrong. You don't understand how attorneys make money. For contingency cases, number one, we have to take that off the table, because the contingency cases are not a thing in divorce court.
Yeah.
All right?
Wait, hold on. I don't... Is that true?
Yes.
Now this is the way that you can stand out from all the other wannabe debate bros. You have to feed your audience constantly. You have to give them an endless supply of content. You have to make sure that your watch time on your channel skyrockets, because you do 8-hour streams a day, and in turn this will help you continue to build your army, because with so much watch time, the algorithm will naturally send people who are looking for liberal or leftist viewpoints right to your videos. So you have to turn the gears on the machine at an almost frantic pace. You want to take those who are chronically online and make them perpetually online. Your objective is to make them feel like they're part of the fight against the alt-right, against MAGA conservatives, against the Ben Shapiro's of the world. Anybody who is outright fascist, because those are the obvious and easy targets, but more importantly, you want them to feel like they're engaging in real political action. You don't want them doing real community organizing to seize power and create a more just society. You want to keep them under your control, and you want their eyeballs on your videos as much as humanly possible. Now you might say, hold on a second, is that really the goal of the debate bros? Obviously they're not purposely trying to do that, and I would tell you that, yeah, you're right. But once you reach this point, it doesn't matter whether you're doing it consciously or not. You see, because not only are your own followers caught up in this addictive drive to endlessly consume more of your content, but you too are caught up in the game as YouTube constantly reminds you of their analytics that you need to get more views, more subscribers, more people to watch ads on your videos. The fact of the matter is that YouTube's algorithm brought thousands of people to your channel solely for the express purpose to watch more ads, and your job is to make them preoccupied with internet drama and debates and edgy takes. You cannot allow them the time and the space to think deeply about what political engagement might look like for them offline. Because if they're allowed to do that, that means less people in your army, that means less people looking at ads, and that means YouTube won't see you as a viable content creator, and that will mean the end of your reign as a debate bro. Of course, you can do something. Charity.
By the way, as you will see if you take a look at the charity page, the actual total amount raised is $168,000 thanks to the match.
Online fundraisers.
Player unknown donated 20 grand. An anonymous donation that was 12,500.
Especially when it comes to natural disasters. In order to evade the obvious contradiction of inaction with such a massive platform, you would do well to engage in conspicuous forms of philanthropy and even get your own audience to participate. Of course, you don't tell them the truth. As you know, the need for philanthropy is a sign of a larger societal issue. The fact that there aren't systems and strategies in place to adequately respond to tragedy means that there's something fundamentally wrong, but that's not your concern. You're too busy streaming all day, so it's too hard to think about how to do systemic change. It would better suit you if you can get your following preoccupied giving donations so they can feel like they're at least doing something. They can feel like they are indeed helping people, and in reality they are. You know, it was said that there's no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism, and that's true. And so that means that you're not a bad person for consuming leftist content online. But these spaces are different. The problem with these debate cultures, the cult of personality in these leftist spaces, the fan bases that they create, the politics that develop or don't develop, the cathartic drive to see your debate bro dunk on their opposition as they go up the ladder of addictive consumption. All these things work together in tandem to take away, to steal that real political energy that can be used towards community building and organization building offline. And I'm quite sure that this video will inspire harassment campaigns against me, and I'll have their sycophant following chasing me, attacking me ruthlessly on end, because that's the nature of the armies that they built. But this video, in all actuality, wasn't an attack on debate bros as people. They're not villains. More so, I'm critiquing from an organizer's perspective, the broader process of how YouTube's algorithm can take alienated people who feel the contradictions of the society that so many of us feel, and those who would otherwise be primed to do political action, and throw them into a digital pit where their politics can't fully develop, so that many ideologies that power oppressive structures can fundamentally stay in their worldview. At this point, I would recommend a variety of organizations where people can go to start build real community and develop themselves for political action. But in all honesty, I don't want to endanger those groups, not least because some of the people who watch this video are from those fan bases and will invariably be toxic towards those organizations that are doing serious political work, because many of the fans of Debate Bros truly don't know how to be in community with other people. And unfortunately, with people of color.
It does have, by and large, a negative effect to de-radicalize someone and have someone all of a sudden be like, I was a neo-Nazi yesterday, but because I watched this Vaush video where he was super mean to this other neo-Nazi, I'm now a liberal. Yay. Like, that is not de-radicalization. That is adopting a different label and bringing all of that toxicity and that lack of deconstruction into a new group that is then going to be harmed by that worldview.
If you are, however, able and willing to go beyond the internet drama and get into political action, I would recommend some books for you. The first is How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. Black on Both Sides, A Racial History of Trans Identity by C. Riley Snorton. And from one of my favorite authors of all time, Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin. And when you've reflected on your biases and blind spots, do your own due diligence to find groups in your community that you can be a part of, because I'm a firm believer that part of the journey of building community is you yourself being a protagonist and finding organizations that already exist in your city with whom you can build with. Thank you so much for listening. If you're watching this in 2023, it means that you're watching at a time I'm about to start making YouTube videos again. There are a lot of videos already in production and being worked on, so please subscribe so that you can get notified when I upload them. Thanks, my friends. See you next time. And even better, please watch one of my other videos if you can. Peace.